Welcome to Artwork Winona for the month of June. We've got the folks from the Great River Shakespeare Festival here to talk about season 16. And then we have the Minnesota Marine Art Museum talking about their incredible June programming, including 2 special family events. Then Rachel Ryan Dahlgren will be here with a new program called Ludwig for Littles. And you'll want to hear about this. Something new and exciting for classical music and people of all ages. And then we have the No Name Bar and their special Pride event that'll be happening in late June that includes a drag race, so you'll want to hear all about that. And finally, a special performance by Herman the Frog and Dr. Bob, who will be performing after the Farmers Market late in June, a world premiere puppet show about John Latch. So if that's not enough for the month of June, I don't know what is. We'll be back to hear all about it right after this word.
Join me, Superintendent Rich Dahman, each month for interviews with administrators, district staff, and students. Tune in to Making the Grade Monday through Friday here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona, located in the professional building in the Winona Mall Annex.
And we're back with our friends from the Great River Shakespeare Festival, Eileen Muller and Jen Oswald and Aaron Young. And so let's hear about the season that is fast upon us. Who wants to dive in first?
Well, you, Aaron.
Sure. So we start our performances on June 25th with Macbeth and Cymbeline, The Servant of Two Masters, and No Child. And then we have a special event that we have 4 performances of called White Rabbit, Red Rabbit.
Okay.
And so 5 professional productions
Wow.
that will play throughout the summer until August 4th.
I feel like we should start with No Child, just so in that list people will go, oh, kids can't come to the theater. So tell us what No Child is.
Sure, it's a reference to the legislation No Child Left Behind, but the play isn't directly about that. It's about a teaching artist experience in the New York public schools, and trying to work with students and actually seeing how our school system is and isn't meeting the needs.
Yeah.
From everybody's perspective, it's a one-person show. She plays about 16 characters, everyone from the janitor to the school principal.
And
to
who's the
students.
actress that's playing this?
It's Melissa Maxwell. She's a festival
one of your
favorite.
Oh my gosh, that should be a treat.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And our previews are the things that start the first 2 weeks. The performances are pay what you will, except for the opening performance. So, and that's a way that anyone can come and see. They can literally pay a penny, anything that they want.
Well, you have the museum beat. They pay $1.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
at least give $1.
But a great way to see the theater, especially for people who aren't sure if they're going to like Shakespeare. We definitely think you will.
Or families in need and
Right.
wanting to bring their kids for the first time to a theater.
So people should call. They can reserve tickets ahead of time and pay whatever they want over the phone, or they can come in person. So.
Well, I'm assuming that most people know the Scottish play, but do you want to talk about some things about this production of Macbeth, or do you want to talk about Servant of Two Masters?
Sure. So, well, we're doing Macbeth, which is always a favorite. It's got all sorts of fun.
It's got witches
Yeah,
and
it's got
murder.
Yeah, it's got everything you could
sword
want.
fights
Yeah.
and daggers.
And this is, we're very excited. One of the founders of the festival, Paul Barnes, is back, and he'll be directing that production. And then, of course, we have Cymbeline, which is a Shakespearean play that's not performed very often. And that will be directed by Doug Schultz-Carlson, who is our artistic director.
And it's a sort of a bittersweet love story, right?
It is, yeah. It's a little bit lighthearted, but it's really beautiful. And then we have The Servant of Two Masters, which has been newly adapted by Beth Gardner, who is also directing it. And that is an old Italian farce. And there's lots of physical comedy, there's lots of bright colors. Our company member, Silas Selno, is composing all of the music for it.
Oh, so there'll be original music?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
and it's going to be very colorful and bright, and there'll be food fights, and it's going to be really hilarious.
Well, it's a really, really funny play. I mean, it's a classic farce. And the modern adaptation is where James Corden made his splash.
That's right, he did.
And so if you don't know this play, you will laugh your petunias off. So come, it is so funny.
And one thing that's exciting about Servant of Two Masters is we're experimenting by performing off-site as well. So we'll have the performances in the theater, but then there'll be 4 performances that'll be in pubs and restaurants around the community.
I was going to say, it better be restaurants or pubs because food is so important. Oh, how cool. And are you guys visiting the festival in Rochester? Are you doing anything at there?
We
Yes,
are.
actually,
Jen
Jen
is
can talk
going to
about
be
that.
representing.
Yeah,
What a nice segue.
we are going to be out there. Eileen and I are going to be out there at a booth, so we're just ready to chat and talk about the festival and keep saying the same things that we just said right now. But we're also going to be bringing some of the actors in the Apprentice company down to give who understudy our main stage shows. So they will be performing scenes from both Cymbeline and Macbeth. And sharing a little bit about what people can expect to see at the festival if they come on out to Winona.
That's great. And there's a Shakespeare in the Streets production, I believe.
There's also a Shakespeare in the Streets production, which is the second year that we are doing that, also with the Apprentice actors. We're really, really excited to be getting them more and more out into the community. And so we're going to be at the corner of Center and 3rd. Oh, what is the date of it? It's
I think
July
it's later.
26th.
It's in July.
It's a Friday in July.
We can talk about that if you guys come back for the July promo.
So yeah, it's a Friday in July. Check the website. We're going to be promoting it all over. So we're going to have plenty of signage up as well. And same thing, it'll be the Apprentice company, but this year they're going to be performing their 90-minute version of Love Labor's Lost, which is the production that they are putting up on their own with the Intern and Apprentice company.
Great. And so you also have some programs for education
Yeah.
too. Are those full or are there still opportunities?
They are not. We have plenty of space.
Okay, so
yeah.
you would visit grsf.org and then hit the education tab, I would
Exactly.
assume?
Yeah, so if you go to grsf.org, click on education and particularly youth education. We have a bunch of different classes happening in addition to our professional training programs, which we've been talking about. But we have Shakespeare for Young Actors, Shakespeare for Young Designers, and Shakespeare for Young Filmmakers we are doing for the second year, as well as Will's Power Players, which is those kids age 4 through 6th grade. So before they're hitting our middle and high school programs, they're able to take a dive into theater with instructor Casey Mixon, who's been with us for years and years now, and do a little
great.
bit of yeah.
Casey's great.
So thanks to the generosity of the community, we have a number of scholarships available. So we want people to contact us if they want to take a class, even if they don't have the funds.
So if you have a child that is at all expressed interest in getting on stage and certainly has had some sort of, is walking around quoting Shakespeare, we should or is thinking about tech theater, right? Because you have a great tech program and you also have a video program, right? Where if people are wanting to start to shoot and film Shakespeare or different theatrical things. So you cover all the educational bases.
Yeah.
But I just also want to say one more quick thing about the fact that you're seeing professional theater in Winona at an affordable price and as free as as low as a penny, but also pay the full price and just come to the show. And it's just one of the treasures of our town that we have this festival. So that's the Great River Shakespeare Festival, grsf.org.
That's right.
All throughout the latter part of June and July. So we'll be back in just a minute. And don't forget, a little Shakespeare will make your life.
Be sure to check out US Golf TV, where you are going to see golf products that you have never seen before. You're also going to see golf tips from some of the leading instructors around the country that are truly changing the way people are teaching the game and challenging the status quo. Also, you're going to see fitness tips that are revolutionizing the way PGA Tour pros are training their body and swinging the golf club. If you want something different, if you're looking for some new information, US Golf TV has it. Be sure to check your local listings. US Golf TV, we've got you covered.
And we've got our good friends from the Minnesota Marine Art Museum, Heather Casper and Caitlin Crochet. And we're going to talk access because it's an all-access month of June. Go ahead, Heather, tell us.
Absolutely. So we've got 2 free programs, low-cost free programs, access programs in June. Our first program is Saturday, June the 8th, which is our second Saturday. And the other one to note is Saturday, June 29th, our Free Family Fest.
Okay, and also some events all throughout. Tuesday, you said? Or
Student-free Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, students from pre-K to grad school are admitted free to the museum.
And is there a special summer vets program going on? Did I read?
Yes, we are a Blue Star Museum. So that means from May 18th through Labor Day, we are free for all active military and their families.
Besides the incredible Masters collection that has 3 or 4 new paintings that are on view, right? Incredible works. You have 2 special exhibits, right?
We do. We have Martin Placha, which is in Gallery 1, and he is a contemporary painter, but it extensively researched historically accurate scenes that are depicting the early U.S. Navy from about 1800 to 1815.
So this really will be a treat for maritime lovers.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And then you contrast that with one of the most, I dare I say, hottest contemporary photographers. That
Yes.
I mean, his career has just shot,
Absolutely.
skyrocketed.
So
Tell us.
we have Alex Soth in Gallery 3, and this features 21 large-scale photographs from his series Sleeping by the Mississippi, which really started his career and kind of skyrocketed him into...
I mean, we're talking about, they just did a profile in the New York Times
Yes.
of this guy.
Yes.
He is important.
It's
And
a gritty exhibition. It's fun to see.
Really cool.
The large-scale photos make it really engaging, and the lights are a little dim, which is a conservative effort. Not conservative, conservation. You know what I mean? Like the lights have to be dim so that they don't, so that for the safety of the photographs. But it also adds kind of a fun ambiance and mood that makes it a fun show to look
Well,
at.
you can't get any more of a contrast too
No.
between these two
No,
styles,
that's
you
true.
know. And then let's dive in a little deeply about the 2 programs. So let's start with the Family
Yeah,
Day.
let me tell you about Family Fest, because this is our 13th year doing this. It is always backed by popular demand. We have hundreds of folks come. It's a 2.5-hour event, so we start at 10:30 a.m. and it goes until 1 p.m. And during that event, we try to have as many approaches as we can think of to get families of all ages comfortable and interested in the museum. So the first thing is we want to make sure people are in the gallery, so we offer family-friendly galleries tours, which is 20 minutes. It's a fun activity, an interactive activity where parents and kids can work together to discover some artworks and
And
make
when you
connections.
say families, how young do you have? Do you have
You
literally?
can bring a 2-day-old baby into this museum, right? All of that verbal talking to kids, if you're holding them just like reading a book, right? You're, all of the connections that you make to the artwork and each other is meaningful time.
I know that a friend of mine whose young daughter went to the museum now looks at paintings and says, "That's a Monet. That's a," you know. So it really does sink in.
Yeah,
it really
you can't
does.
start too early. I mean, it's something you practice, like piano or sports, you know, looking at art and starting to slow down and learning to uncover the details and the connections.
Okay, and the date for that program
That is
again?
Saturday, June 29th.
And moving now to second Saturday,
Yes, we
which is early. So we've got the beginning of the month and the end of the
That's
month.
true. Second Saturday, you think it'd be double
Stereo
digits.
Marine Museum month day or whatever. Go ahead.
So we have second Saturday on Saturday, June 8th. This is all day, 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. We offer $1 admission thanks to the generous support of the Minnesota State Arts Board. Along with that, we have free guided tours throughout the whole day. There are art making activities.
And the theme?
The theme is gardens, which is perfect for June.
June gardens? How could that have been planned? Okay, and so I'm assuming that tours of the actual gardens
Yeah,
that people
for sure.
don't realize.
Yes, we'll be doing tours of the gardens as well as tours in the museum of works that are related to the theme as well.
Okay.
We have lots of landscapes in our collection, so we'll be doing some tours and talking about how landscape is honored in art and how different artists use it in different ways.
And there's flower making and
Yeah, we're
all
going to do
sorts
a
of
flower arranging demo because that's a part of gardening and
Oh,
certainly
wow.
has been a subject of the still life for centuries.
Okay, and I don't know that people know this, but the outside gardens are just, you know, incredible to take in, and over 100 species.
Yeah,
of
we call it our
wildflowers.
7th gallery, right? In the summer, there's 8 acres of Native American prairie style gardens with, 100,000 species of plants, shrubs. No, wait, not species.
100,000?
100,000.
Maybe 100,000 individual
Yeah, plants.
yes, yes.
It's a
leaves,
great garden.
100,000 leaves.
It is a beautiful garden, and in June it looks magnificent.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so this is the Minnesota Marine Art Museum, one of the most incredible collections of art around, and the programming that is all access for all ages for the month of June.
Yes.
Thank you guys for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute.
Wondering where you can go to find great old movies? Well, look no further than HBC TV 25. Each week, TV 25 presents the HBC movie, and we won't monkey around. We'll show you movies like Night of the Living Dead, Giant Gila Monster, The Fat Spy, His Girl Friday, and others. Join us mornings at 12:30 a.m., and for those of you with better sleeping habits, Saturday afternoon at 2 on HBC TV 25 for the HBC movie.
And we're back with Rachel Ryan Dahlgren, who has a brand new program, a world premiere program that's going to be happening at the Cafe Congo. Tell us about Ludwig for Littles.
Well, thank you, Lee. Yes, we're very excited to be introducing this concept to Winona. It's not an original idea. It's actually been very successful in other parts of the world. In London, they introduced the Bach to Babies concert series, and in New York City, the Mozart for Munchkins. So we are introducing our own version of that for the Winona community, Ludwig for Littles. This program is intended to offer classical music concerts for little children in a low-stress environment. Oftentimes, I think people view classical concerts as perhaps a little stuffy, formal, and certainly don't want to bring children who may be...
It's like church. You don't want to, you're so worried that your kids are going to interrupt the service or
exactly.
the concert.
It can be very high stress, and you don't want to, you want to be respectful of the artists. And so bringing children into that environment can sometimes feel forbidding. And so we want to offer children the opportunity, the exposure to these experiences in a low-stress environment. So these concert series are designed specifically for children. They're shorter programs. They're only going to be a half an hour long. And it's while it's a serious concert, it is a true concert, they're informal. So we expect children to cry. We expect children to run around. We expect babies to cry, and there's no stress in that.
And I'm assuming that the programs are chosen with music that either young children respond to or appreciate more.
Yes, absolutely.
They're not going to hear a chunk of a really downer symphony here, right?
No. The music, while it's chosen from the classical music canon, standard repertoire, it's still going to be very accessible music. So lots of Mozart, lots of Beethoven, of course, from our name. So music that children will naturally respond to. And some of the concerts will have programmatic theming, such as Carnival of the Animals, perhaps, or storytelling and fairy tales. But others will just be standard classical chamber music concerts.
Great. And these are local artists of renown, right, that are playing in a chamber setting?
Well, yes, local. The inaugural, the debut concert is actually in partnership with the Stringwood Festival that is out of Lanesboro.
Wow. Okay.
The founders of Stringwood Festival is the Artaria String Quartet, quite a renowned string quartet that is now based in the Twin Cities.
World-class.
They are. And so they host a festival in Lanesboro every summer, and we're partnering with them to bring this debut concert to Winona. So they will be bringing their faculty for the Ludwig for Littles, will actually be the faculty concert. And after that, the Ludwig for Little concerts is 12:30 to 1 before nap time. And from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock is another concert which is put on by the students of the Stringwood Festival.
So for your non-napping audience that might want just to take in another or a second concert.
Exactly.
And these are at the Cafe Congo, right? Which are at the Congregational Church.
Yes.
Do we have a date?
June 23rd. Like I said, the Ludwig for Littles concert starts at 12:30, goes for a half an hour, and the second concert starts at 2 o'clock and will be probably about an hour and a half. So Cafe Congo is known in Winona for putting on these concert series in a very relaxed, comfortable environment. People
and the acoustics are actually quite beautiful.
It's a wonderful setting. It's very intimate and comfortable, and yet, yes, has excellent acoustics. So great setting for chamber music concerts. people come, they'll have tea, they'll do their
Juice,
knitting,
I've
I've seen
they
all
have
kinds
juice
of
and
things.
cookies, I'm
Yes.
assuming. Yeah.
Yes. So when we were thinking of this idea of offering this concert series for these little children, Cafe Congo seemed just quite the most natural environment.
perfect place, yeah.
Yes, so they're the hosts for this.
Well, Steve Bachler and I know Nan are doing such a great job with the programming. That's Nancy Edstrom, sorry. They're doing just great things at Cafe Congo, but I don't think they've had many programs that are geared just for very, very young people, so it's exciting to have that. When you say that they're family friendly and that noise will be okay, what you're saying is then if your child cries, you don't have to pick them up and bring them out. It's just part of the joy of experiencing the music, right?
Exactly. It's the opportunity for kids to be exposed to this and yet still be kids. That said, it's also an excellent opportunity to teach them some basic etiquette. So if they cry, no worries. If you feel like you want to take them out, we trust that entirely to the
But
parents.
the hope and the joy of it is that they'll be, riding in the car one day and they'll hear a piece of music and go, "Oh, that's Bach.
Exactly.
I heard that before. That's Ludwig."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is the kind of music that they may not otherwise have the chance to hear live and in person. They may hear it on the radio. So being able to draw that association between the two experiences is going to be very beneficial for them.
And just putting beauty in their hearts and souls at an early age.
Exactly.
Couldn't be more important. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
And we'll be back in just a minute.
Join me, Superintendent Rich Dahman, each month for interviews with administrators, district staff, and students. Tune in to Making the Grade Monday through Friday here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona, located in the professional building in the Winona Mall Annex.
And now we have Cindy Noft and Woolen Lover here to talk about a really exciting event that's going to happen at the No Name Bar. And it's very dear to my heart because I don't think we have enough events that are taking pride into full flower, for lack of a better word. So tell us about this event that's happening for Pride Week.
Sure. On June 29th, we will be hosting a Pride celebration at the No Name Bar downtown. And we'll have bands. The Sweat Boys will be headlining. We're going to have a drag race, which should be very fun. And
Just hysterical. I
yes.
love it. Okay.
We'll have food truck, a photo booth, and various giveaways throughout the night.
And your partner in crime is going to help produce?
Yeah, we have a fabulous host coming, Pedro Pablo or La Doña Pepa. They're from Minneapolis, but they have a Winona connection.
Tell us something about them. Are they performance artists? Are they drag queens? What?
Yeah, they do everything. They're a modern dance performer. They just perform Noche Bomba in Winona, and they do drag. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Everything they do is fabulous.
So there'll be a little bit of something for everyone at this event. Tell me what a drag race is like.
We'll have, hoping to have at least 5 performers, and they will be competing to see who performs the best or the crowd favorite.
So that they're not literally running down the street
No,
fast.
no, it's a
they're doing their
performance.
full-on drag to see who's. Okay,
yes.
good. Okay. Although I do think we should have them running in the heels
That
just for
could
a
be
little
fun.
bit. That could be a little great. And we're so excited about what's happening at No Name Bar. I mean, there's just been so much great programming. And I hear that you're having sort of a night that is sort of dedicated to the LGBT community, right?
This is true.
And this will be the June event, but look for certain private dances and cool things that are happening monthly, I would assume, at least.
Yes, Woolen Lover has been coordinating dance parties. They're called Deviant Dance Parties, and they're been held.
They're decadent, they're fun,
They're decadent
they're
and
frolicky.
fun.
They're queer.
Yeah, they're queer in here.
They're safe,
So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about Woolen Lover for those that haven't seen your work.
Yeah, so I use a loop pedal. That's kind of my main tool, and I layer sound, found objects, vocals, and synthesizer, and then I add in movement too, and I love to have the audience participate.
And are you from Winona? How did Winona inherit your fabulousness?
I just moved here in August.
How cool.
Yeah.
This is so important to Winona, that we are attracting artists, that we're attracting people that choose to make Winona their home. What made you decide Winona?
I think it's just the perfect mix of culture. It's not too big and it's big enough, and I want to get a farm and the river. It's just the right mix of everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
that couldn't be more. That's music to our ears, especially for those of us that are on Artwork Winona. We are trying to celebrate this community as a sort of unsung center for the arts, and we know we are, and we just want as many people to discover us as possible. So one more time about this event. What's the title of it?
Well, it's
Is it
Pride
untitled?
It's untitled
Oh,
right now.
No name
No
at
name
the No
at
Name
the
Bar.
No Name Bar.
Okay.
It's June 29th, 21 plus, and doors at 7:30.
And it'll be the place to be.
It will be.
To see the drag race and everything else.
Yes.
So Pride for everyone.
Yes.
And we'll be back in just a minute.
Follow the national circuit of the Pro Watercross Tour each week on Pro Watercross. It's not your average day at the beach. Featuring the best professional and amateur power sport athletes from around the world competing on the most beautiful beaches and venues in the USA, on some of the most challenging and technical race courses in the world. Check out the high-speed thrills of Pro Watercross on HBC TV 25.
We're so excited to have Winona legend Dr. Bob here, and a new visitor to the show. We haven't had Herman visit. This is Herman the Frog and Dr. Bob.
It's nice to be here, Leah. I brought Herman. He's really excited to be here. Wow.
And you're here because Herman's going to be performing down on the levee. Tell us about that performance.
Herman and a bunch of other marionettes that I'm making right now are, we won a CMAQ grant, and we're going to be doing shows live at the levee. Not with Live at the Levee, hopefully.
Or hopefully, yes.
And also we'll be doing a puppet show about John Latch down at the levee as part of the farmer's market.
Okay, so what's the date that Herman is debuting?
We are looking at June 22nd.
Okay.
At 12:15, right after the farmer's market.
Oh, okay, just as the farmer's market is wrapping up, so you can get your produce, then head over to, and I'm assuming you want folks of all ages?
All ages shows. It's free. It's fun for everyone. We're going to have a bunch of different marionettes and a lot of fun stuff for kids to do.
Well, Herman, can you tell me a little bit about what the show's about?
We're going to explore the history and the adventures of John A. Latch and his fabled canoe trip down the Mississippi.
Who was John Latch, for those that may not know?
He was a local grocer in Winona's history, and then he became quite the philanthropist and donated lots of land to the city of Winona. Ooh, lots of land for a frog to play in.
Ah, so there's the frog connection, because most of the land was along the river, was it not?
It's true, all the ponds and the rivers, it's true.
And this story will be how John Latch came upon deciding to be a philanthropist, or is it more about your adventures along the river, or both?
It's going to explore why John A. Latch was such a big fan of crackers and buttermilk.
Ah, okay.
And why he loved the river so much, and all
Okay.
the creatures that live in it.
Well, there's the connection to the farmer's market too, then, with the crackers and buttermilk.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And we hope to see you many, many more times. I'm assuming that this grant means that there might be performances all throughout the farmer's market season.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a whole series of puppet shows about different characters of Winona's history.
Oh, that's great. So again, the date?
June 22nd at 12:15.
12:15, and again, free of charge, thanks to the generous grant that you received. How cool. Well, we look forward to seeing you, Herman. We hope that your friends are being born as we speak. What are some of the other characters that we might be looking
We're going to be
forward
doing
seeing?
a guy named Freddie Fisher, Freddie Schnickelfritz Fisher, which is a local jazz artist from the 30s here in Winona. And we're also going to be doing Chief Wapasha II.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm really excited for producing that material.
Well, really nice to have a indigenous character, and you can't get any more indigenous than Herman here, who probably dates back to just the beginning of the river itself. So we'll see you then, Dr. Bob, and hopefully you'll come by the farmer's market and check out this world premiere show.